Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Caro, and welcome to today's session. Today, we're going to be talking about Vision's latest release. We're going to be walking through 5 topics in our session today. Adil is here, and he will be joining us a little bit later as well for our Q&A session. So, hi, Adil.
Hello.
How you doing, Adil?
All is well. I think my camera is loading, so
Yes, you did freeze
yeah,
up for a moment. No problem, no problem. We're going to continue, and we have a lot of stuff to cover today. So our 5 topics that we'll be covering today are going to involve the PLY file format that is now supported in Vision. We will then move forward with our new auxiliary, the translate blocks, and we will follow with the double limits, alternative treatment plans, and we'll end with our cephalometric module. So again, a lot to cover, and please bear with me as I switch from multiple screens and multiple windows. So excuse me if I'm a little bit slow in uploading everything. So I'm going to go ahead and begin sharing my screen. And that way we can start. All right, so you should be seeing that momentarily. So the first thing we're going to take a look at, which is going to be quite quick, is really where we're now supporting our PLY file format. So we normally upload our upper and lower scans into these 2 cells when we create our patients. And so next to the heading patient's jaw scans, you've always been able to see that we support STL, OBJ, and now you'll see that the PLY file formats are also supported. So that's the first thing we wanted to let everyone know. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be our translate block. So let me go ahead and share that screen with you. Great, I believe you're seeing my window now. So what are translate blocks? Translate blocks are also known as pressure points or power ridges that we normally use to generate the increased control over certain tooth movements that we generate, like tipping or rotation. And we can place them either lingually or facially, and we can combine them, to generate those specific forces that we want to use. So where do we find this new option in Vision? It is now a part of our auxiliaries. So at the top, you're used to seeing our attachments, our bite ramps, elastics, pontics, and now you'll find the new icon with a T on it for translate blocks. So when we activate it, you'll see a drop-down menu that has 3 options. We have the horizontal, round, and the vertical. And so how can we use these? These, like I said, they're going to generate a pressure point on specific areas of the tooth. So when we hover over a tooth, we can simply click and it is placed. And as I rotate this, I want you to visualize the options that we have in terms of the manipulation. We can increase the depth, which will generate a stronger pressure point. So that can be manipulated, as well as the size, just like all the auxiliaries. So for example, if I want to change the length of the auxiliary, I can do that. So other things that we can do, we can use the gizmo to manipulate the form. We can right click onto it, and we can also copy it. So now that I have placed this translate block on the cervical part of the tooth, I'm going to copy the size. I'm going to isolate my upper arch, and I'm going to place it on my lingual. So by placing this on closer to the incisal edge and having the other one on the cervical edge, we can now generate a force of tipping. So these are other options that you can use in addition to your attachments. But in essence, that's how you will be able to place them and manipulate them when trying to generate this additional force. I'm going to show you the other forms. So we have the circular, and we also have the vertical. So again, these can be used singular or in combination on the facial and the lingual profile of the tooth to generate those additional forces. Now, I wanted to show you an image of what that would look like when it's on the actual model. So as you can see, this is the vertical form, and so it generates this indentation on the tooth that will translate into a positive on the aligner itself. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic, which are double limits. So in terms of double limits, it's basically a visual warning system that will help us when we're generating a treatment plan or moving a tooth. So this warning system does not stop the tooth from moving, but it does give us a visual when we've reached what we would consider a medium limit or a hard limit. And so, for example, when we select a tooth to move, as we generate the movement, for example, intrusion, you can see the value on the lower left-hand side. We have all the movements, and we can see that intrusion is generated 8.18 value. So as we increase the intrusion value, and we want a warning to show up when we've reached a specific medium value, the value number will turn orange. So this would be considered a medium limit. These limits can be customized for your own values, and I'll show you where we can do that in a minute. I just wanted to show you what a medium limit would look like and what a hard limit would look like. So medium is in orange, and if we increase the intrusion on this particular tooth, you're going to see it change from a white color on the numbering. As we reach the medium limit, you're going to see it turn orange. And as we increase and we reach what we would consider a hard limit, you're going to be able to see the value turn red. So red for a hard limit, orange for a medium limit. And there's two places where we can manipulate those values and customize them. One would be under the menu at the top where our three bars are. We're going to select it, and we're going to go on to company settings. In company settings, we're going to scroll down to double limits, and you're going to see our chart. Make sure that you have the set values slider active so you can manipulate the charting of the teeth you want to select, as well as the values. Now, in the charting, you can select all the teeth that you want. You can click on none, so none of the teeth are selected, and you can manually select certain teeth, or you can select the incisors or the canines and so forth. So if you want to change the value of a medium limit, you simply select the box for medium limit and enter the new value that you would consider a medium limit, which would highlight in orange. And for the hard limit, you would also be able to enter the values. Once you've made the change, so for example, if I manipulate and change the values that are preset in the system, you will be able to enter the value and click Save as a Preview. And that would customize and save the limits that you've entered. The next thing we're going to look at is the second place where we can go ahead and generate those limits. So yes, I want to leave this page. The second place where we can manipulate an individual tooth, or again, apply new values, would be in our tooth movement table. When we open our tooth movement table, we can select a specific tooth. Oops. And then you can see it highlight on the tooth movement table. When we right click onto that highlighted tooth, you'll see a menu pop up, and then we can go into edit limits. And again, you'll see the similar form as we saw in the settings. And you can again highlight what type of limit you're looking to adjust. You can manipulate the value at the specific movement. So for example, this would be translation, intrusion, and then extrusion. And so the medium limit or the hard limit you would be able to manipulate. If you're looking to only do a custom on one tooth, or if you're looking to apply that value to all the teeth, you can select the box at the bottom to apply to all teeth. and you would just click on apply so those new values are set into the system. So again, a visual warning that allows you to visualize when you've reached a medium limit, and the numbering in red to let you know that you've reached that hard limit. And again, this does not limit the tooth from moving any further. So for example, this is a hard limit and we're going to continue to intrude, and the value allows us to continue. It does not stop it, but it gives us that visual warning. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our next topic, which is alternative treatment plans. And so alternative treatment plans will really allow us to generate multiple treatment plans for the same case. And so where do we find this? We're going to go into the menu option, and we're going to look at the second heading, which says treatment plans. And this window will pop up, which will allow us to not only visualize treatment plans that have been generated for the same case, we can quickly open them, or we can choose to delete a previous treatment plan that we no longer want for the patient. We can right click onto the bullets and we can delete it. We can copy it and begin changes to part of that same treatment plan, or we can relabel it. So all we have to do is click on open so we can visualize a previous treatment plan. So as you can see in this particular treatment plan, we have 5 upper and 4 lower. We can create a second treatment plan, as you can see, one with attachments and elastics. So we'll open that one just to get a better visual of what the difference is between one and the other. So here we have one with the attachments and elastics. And so all we have to do in order to generate an additional treatment plan that we would like to start for the same case, we simply click on the treatment plans, click on create new treatment plan. You will see an automatic label show up that you can change. You'll click create. And as you can see now, this is the original scan and the original bite with 0 treatment plan. The really cool thing about this also is that once we've generated these multiple treatment plans, it can be also viewed by the doctor in the review. So I'm going to bring in this additional window so we can take a peek at what that looks like in the review stage. So in this particular case, we have this new tab that we can select in the middle of the screen, and you can choose from the multiple treatment plans that the case may have. We simply select it. The browser reloads with the new treatment plan. And we are able to just hide and then review that treatment plan. So as you can see, this treatment plan has 3 uppers and 4 lowers. And so the doctor would then continue to either approve the case with this particular treatment plan that is visually seen, or modify. And again, all they have to do is select between the multiple treatment plans available. Okay, so that would be our alternative treatment plans, how we generate them on the design side, and how the doctor would be able to preview them on the viewer side. Next, we're going to talk about the cephalometric module. So let me switch windows for a moment. And there we go. Okay, so you should be seeing that screen. So for our new cephalometric module, they're going to be, when we generate a patient information, you're going to go ahead and, we're going to need 2 very important pieces of information in order for the analysis of the cephalometric to show up. One is when we're entering the patient information, so that's why you're seeing this window. When we're entering the patient information, there's going to be the option to either enter the patient's birth date And sometimes we usually just uploading this to show patients. These really trying to generate analysis of craniofacial growth. So that's one of the reasons why the birth date is important. So once we've entered the patient's birth date, we save the patient information as normal. And the next thing is when we're uploading so we upload deals, but we also have the option to upload their images. For example, looks like I have a low quality connection. Sorry, it's being kind of restored as it goes. Hopefully you're not missing some of the things that I'm saying. So as we're uploading images, our STL files for the upper and lower scan, and you have the option to upload patient photos, intraoral photos, it is very important that you have what we would call a TRG, or also known as the cephalometric X-ray. That specific X-ray is going to be uploaded into the X-ray in the lateral cell. Okay, so this is a specialized X-ray that is required to be able to select the landmarks. So once we've uploaded those two pieces of important information, the patient's birth date and the TRG, then we can continue to move forward with the patient. So once we've uploaded those two pieces of information, next we're going to go into our 3-bullet option, and you're going to see cephalometric show up. And so we're going to select Start New. So now we have the patient's information, so we're going to Start New. And you should see the X-ray that we uploaded, the TRG. You're going to select it, and you're going to click Start. So as you can see, you're going to have as many as cephalometric analysis as you would like to create. And so once you start, you're going to basically run into the option to place landmarks. So actually, let's go back to one where we can start from scratch, because I know it's going to take a little bit of time to see, but at least you get an idea of how it begins. So on the right side, you're going to see the landmarks that the software is going to walk us through and requests that we make. So on the right side, you can see the cephalometric landmark. It's kind of highlighted in a bluish pulsing bullet. And on the left side, we see our cephalometric image. As you hover over it, you can see that there is a zoomed version of the window up at the top left. And so that's going to help us isolate the landmarks and place them. We also have the option to manipulate with the hand icon to move the TRG around. And you need to deselect it to make sure that you have the view of the crosshairs, which is really what executes the landmark. Next, you can see we have the zoom option and zoom in and zoom out, and the centering of the TRG or the X-ray. At the bottom, we also have the control of the brightness of the TRG. We have the contrast, and we also have the sharpness. You can reset it to original or just hit done when you're done manipulating the views. So the first thing we're going to notice is that the software is asking us to place a landmark called S. So as you can see, it's letting us know that it's supposed to be in this particular spot. So we're going to hover. We can zoom in and make sure that we are covering the area that is being demonstrated on the chart. And then we'll simply click where the landmark should be. So as you can see in the zoomed version, this is landmark S. It's going to automatically move forward, letting us know what the next landmark is. So at the bottom, we see N is the next landmark. So we will follow accordingly and place the landmark. If you make a mistake, let's say you land somewhere here on your landmark and it's not supposed to be, we're going to move into the little drop-down menu up at the top, and we're going to open the menu and then go back to the previous letter that we made a mistake on. We'll simply select And you can see that N was selected, and there is a tiny little garbage can that we're going to be able to delete the landmark, and the landmark on the right side is going to show up to let us know where it's supposed to be, and then we'll go ahead and execute the landmark again. And then it would continue to move forward with the next landmark and so forth. So you do have a total of 36 landmarks that you're going to have to execute. At the end of those 36, we're going to be able to look at the analysis. So what does the analysis look like? So as you can see here, all the landmarks have been placed. And so now we're going to have two types of landmarks. Two types of reports. One, which is the rickets, and the second one is Sassoon. So rickets is basically showing us any, identifying any skeletal facial growth. And Sassoon is going to allow us to identify any skeletal deep bite or open bite. So these two reports will be available for you to review. And so these are the 5 topics that we were going to be covering today. The last thing that I'm going to share with you is, if you are interested in your own specific customized demo, please go ahead and log into our SoftSmile.com demo webpage that I'll go ahead and copy actually and place into the chat so everyone can have access to it. And you just fill out this little form with your first name, last name, email address, and phone number, and one of our executive account managers will reach out and schedule your customized demo. So I'm going to head and stop sharing and invite Adil back into our session. Where's my share button? So any questions that you may have. I'm trying to see where the questions tab is. I see a question, Adil.
Just the cost of the self analysis. Currently, I mean, there's no additional charge for the self analysis. So basically, if you subscribe to one of our products, it just comes free of charge.
In Espanol, I think there's a question. Let me see. If there's a Spanish, sí, hablamos español.
Translate blocks work like booleans on dental meshed or embossed attachments. Yes. So it's, I think we need, from the technical standpoint, I don't know. But yeah, it's basically, it's a, how do you call it?
It's like an indentation. Yeah.
Indentation, correct. Changeable height in areas with extractions. Not exactly. I mean, we don't have anything new regarding the blockouts. We have the standard interdental fillers that we already had in post-processing. We're working on a feature that would allow you to customize the blockouts basically for, what is it? For the undercuts. Training on use of translate blocks.
Yes, we can definitely generate a training session further on what you need.
I think if you have a specific questions on the translate blocks, we can. The translate blocks are already available in the software if you need to use them in your treatment planning. I mean, if you're using our design services, you can request them. If you're doing the treatment plans yourself, I mean, they're available to you with the latest update of the software. So as long as you're using the latest version of the software, you can apply the translate blocks. I'm not sure what the question is regarding the timeline staging section. We don't have any specific changes in this particular update. If you're looking for a specific feature, please go ahead. I mean, ask. We'll see. Can cover that. Yes, Bernice. I mean, we're working on that. We know that a lot of our clients have requested this feature, but we're waiting for the software team to develop that.
There are default limits placed in the system, the generic limits, but you do have the option to generate your own customized limits as we showed, but there are some limitations that are preset in the system.
So yes, we're using our standard limits where you can customize them. And what is it? Maria, I think, has shown you how to apply them. If you export them to the portal, it will apply across all the users within your company. So you don't have to do it manually on each system. You can update the system settings for your specific company as long as you have the admin rights. And once you apply that, all of your users will be kind of, it will be applicable to all of the users within your company. Okay, got it. We have not updated that yet as far as the Starline question goes on the timeline. So each one is color coded, but no, we don't have the legend on the what is it in the staging panel at the moment. It's still in development. Dr. Mar, I don't know, Maria, can you answer this question from Dr. Mar? Do you have the answer to that?
Labeling the movements. Well, on the Spanish one. Okay, let me look.
No. I'm talking about the one that can we use translate blocks on incisal edges to help in.
Oh yes, I did. I wrote yes. I wrote yes to Lee. Let's see. I'm looking at the other side in the questions. There's a Spanish one.
Okay.
Standard limits apply to all users. I don't see. So, on the questions tab, there's a couple from Dr. Petra.
Okay.
The standard.
So and this would apply within this within the so whatever can be exported to the portal will apply across the company. Whatever is kind of case specific will only apply to that specific case and will not go kind of across all the company users. So if you have the option that says kind of export to the portal, yes, it will apply to all the users. if you don't have that one, it's just it's a case specific setting. Um, Regarding the last question from Missy, I mean, in most cases, it's the users that request the translate blocks. Traditionally, I mean, in most of the treatment plans, at least our technicians, they don't apply them by default. But if the doctor sees the need, so usually it's by request.
So I'm answering a question in Spanish in the chat.
If you can translate that for us so that we can know
Sure.
what the question is about.
Sure. They're asking if there is an algorithm or if there's a table with standard movement recommendations in order to generate movements. So I'm mentioning that there are standard values that are preset in the stepping for the speed can be changed, but those are our standard values of movement.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, let's see. What else is there? Another? Oh, there's a couple more. ¿Tienen alguna tabla de medidas? He's asking if we have a recommended table of recommended movements, because he feels that maybe some of the movements they generate might be too aggressive. And if we have a standard table that we can share.
Yeah, it is I mean, it's preset to our standard settings, so we use kind of industry average, I would say, of kind of movements per step, the settings for the movements per step. But if they want to be more aggressive or less aggressive, they can definitely adjust that to their preferences. For the treatment plans, I mean, you can, Maria, we can copy, right, the previous treatment plan, and you can basically create a copy of an existing treatment plan and then modify that copy of a treatment plan. So yes, you can continue it on from the point you left it at. And when you're talking about the second treatment plan, I guess the question is not about a refinement, right? It's just about an alternative version of a treatment plan. Is that correct?
You're asking the person or me?
I'm asking the user from Dense Plan.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anything else?
So the question, the last question that I see, that is what we handle through our matching functionality. So matching functionality allows you to upload a new scan, match it against the original treatment plan that you have created. If it's at the end of the treatment, you basically initiate the matching at the last step. And then you can see basically your deviations from the, from the plan position at that particular step. And then you can update the treatment plan if you need to generate additional lanyards to get to the desired position. So yes, so the answer is yes, but it's not handled through the treatment plan versioning, it's handled through our matching functionality. If you need to have a session on that, we can definitely organize one. And I think we had a session recently when we explained how the matching functionality works. Did we have one, Maria? Or
I think no. The last session was with Damien. What did we talk about? I can't remember. It's on our YouTube channel though. If it was, you can find it in our YouTube channel, which I can link to. I believe. No, the session was regarding with Damien was regarding Phantom and the forces.
Okay. So yeah, if you need a session on what is it on the matching functionality, please just book a demo. Send me an email. I mean, you have my email, I think. So we can organize a separate session for you and explain how the functionality works. But because yes, it immensely kind of decreases your workload with the refinements.
I'm answering the question for Lee that says if we can use pressure points in the molar areas to increase anchorage while correcting anterior crowding.
Alberto.
Yes, we did record it. It will be ready later this evening and posted also on LinkedIn tomorrow. No problem.
Great.
So far, so good.
Any other questions? Any people?
So far, so good. Oh, one more. Let's see in the chat. I think we're good. We're glad to hear that you're happy with those new additions. Thanks, Bernice. No problem, guys. Thank you so much for attending today's session. We look forward to hearing from you and all the great things you do with vision.
Thank you. Thank you all for attending. And again, as Maria mentioned, if you need if you're a user of SoftSmile, you can book a demo with us if you need any kind of further deep dive into any of the new features or existing features. And same kind of if you're still not a client with us, you can book a demo and hopefully become one after talking with one of our account executives.
Okay, I think that will be the end. So I guess we'll end our session. Again, thank you so much for attending today.
Thank you all.